Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we are going to do a preview for Lucielle and her vision card that are dropping tomorrow in War of the Visions. Now, we are in the middle of a bit of a stretch here. I mentioned this in my news video, and I'll mention it again. We have a 100 cost unit and a vision card coming out this week. We are probably looking at Final Fantasy VIII rerun the week after. Then we have even more units and more vision cards coming out during that. So it's a tight time for Visior, or an expensive time if your wallet is wide open. It is what it is. Here we go. Now let's do our preview for Lucielle first. Here's our girl. She is a 100 cost lightning element great princess of Ovis. Weapon group staff devout. Her TMR is Sacred Forest Cloak. It does have 2 agility on it. Again, I always look for TMRs that have agility on them. Really helps with agility tuning. And I like the buff on here. Human resist 10% for 4 turns for allies. Literally just you will take 10% less damage from humans. I don't know if it's like, does Ibarra avoid this by being a demon? Perhaps, I don't know. It also gives you critical evasion 25 and magic 40% for self. So overall, a TMR that I really like a lot, even though it is tied to armor, which can be less than ideal. Her master ability is the lightning element group buff, activation time down 200, healing power up 15, critical evasion 20. She is a support unit, so this healing power up is a big deal for her. Her dream upgrade is activation time down even more. Love that. This is a great thing. Activation time down, activation time down. Activation time is a killer for casters. Then she picks up 15 single target resist and an upgrade to one of her heals. Overall, I think they nailed it with her master ability. That's probably exactly what she wants. If you were to look at her stats when she's all the way leveled up, 69 agility, it's a little bit of a meme, but it's also a high number. So a good agility number, she's got decent HP and a very high magic stat. So I think her stats line out pretty good. Let's break down her kit a little bit. So, support abilities. She's going to get 2 new ones, being a new class. Her first one is Overflowing with Power. This is agility, chain resistance, and reduce physical damage taken, larger attack size. So again, more of this like honeycomb barrier, attack size barrier stuff. She gets it for anti-physical, and anti-physical kind of a theme of her, and that's okay. A lot of physical units in this game wrecking us right now, and then Gilgamesh just comes in and slaughters you with his follow-up attack. It doesn't matter. Oh, I digress. Okay, so that's a good one. It has agility on it, which is a big stat. Chain resist, I just don't know how effective chain resist is, but these barriers are very nice. Then her other new one is Electrostatic Charge. This will give her magic up and magic attack resistance penetration. I don't know how much damage this girl's going to be doing for you. The magic up will help her heal, but instead you might want to go for more like defensive stats. You have protective clothing, for example, AoE resist and critical evade. That seems a lot better, especially with this AoE resist synergizing so well with the single target resist she has right here. I think that's probably the one I would run if I was her. Or you could get magic and HP to give yourself more healing and more survivability, or even more activation time down if you wanted to do that. So I just don't know if anybody's going to be running Electrostatic Charge. We'll have to see how her AI plays out, though. Maybe she does like to do damage. Maybe she's Halloween little Leela the taller. Nah, I don't think so. Okay, counter abilities. Her new counter ability is a physical damage counter, 30%. It drops her aggro by 3 and gives her regenerate. This is one of the weaker parts of her kit, probably. Her new counter ability doesn't seem anything special to me. It does lean into her anti-physical nature. The dropping aggro is okay, but there's so many big AoE moves in this game, or select target moves in this game, that it ain't what it used to be. And then regen, obviously not as good as an instant pop heal, in my opinion. Yeah, so there's that one. Anyway, you could go with, Charm of Protection to just reduce all damage if you wanted to as well. Her main job, let's break this thing down. She does have a 6-use, very cheap, short to medium range single target damage that decreases spirit by 25. Her first self buff is an agility buff, 20% for 4 turns for herself. It gives her 40 spirit pin. Again, they're opening her up to be able to do damage with the magic attack pin if you want it from her support abilities, and spirit pin here. I think this AI is probably going to be healing and buffing more than doing damage. This does give her 400 more activation time down. If you go with that 400 plus this 400, you're at 800. You really don't need this. It'll put you all the way to 1,000, which is, I guess, making everything essentially instant cast. But anyway, activation time down is good. This is a really good buff. This is a really good buff. You're probably going to want to use it. Her first heal that we see, Prayer for Healing, 210% modifier, increase elemental chain resist and increase regular chain resist by 30, and restores 10 AP. Very, very powerful heal. It has a super long range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the center, 6, 7 on the farthest hit. So that's very nice for her. The awkward thing here is the cross shape. Like if you have Sephiroth standing here and Gilgamesh standing here, she would have to move up a space to hit both of them, and that's kind of weird. So the cross shape holds it back, but overall, very, very good heal. Then please hurry up with your mate, or do not fear your mate. Listen, if you're married, you probably fear your mate. It's part of life. But do not fear your mate, according to our girl here. It's a buff. It's a single target buff for both of her allies. It will reduce her damage taken by 50% though. So as she targets allies, she gives herself a 50% damage reduction buff. That's crazy. She gives haste to both of her allies, 42% haste. That's nice. And then dispel to ignore fatal damage. So she gives them the ability to dispel courage. Let's triple check that real quick here. I'm going to jump back into hello, lag. Did we lag? That was weird. I'm going to jump back in here because they do talk about this one in her kit description. So, paired intrepidity. So it's haste and courage removal effect. So it is courage removal. I just wanted to make sure I got that right. So she gives courage removal to her allies, as well as haste, which is incredibly good. She also gives them 30% water resist, which could be useful. And then when conditions are met, auto cast HP recovery when you drop below 50%. This is an insane buff. It is an insane buff. And overall, just this buff plus her healing makes me think she's going to be a top tier support in the game. But she comes at a time when I feel like Vizyor's really tight, and I don't know, for me, Final Fantasy VIII's right around the corner, so I'm not spending, even if she is the element of my boy Squall. Next, we have our first damage ability that we can see that's not the cheap one. This is if you collapse, you will be pierced. 220% modifier, long range, single target, guaranteed hit, and has a chance of disabling. A very good attack. A very good attack. Just keep in mind she's a support unit. Then her job level 25 is a diamond-shaped AoE attack. 185% mod that goes up to 265% if the target is disabled. So you can see what her like combo is. Like in theory, she disables you with this one and then blasts you into oblivion with this one. I get it. Is she gonna like do those things back to back? Probably not, because I feel like within that time, she's going to end up having to heal somebody or something, but I do see what they're going for, and it's cool. Plus 200% chance to physical damage reduction for targets. So she also nerfs their damage by 20%. Really nice. She also has her new sub job. She has a heal, a 310 modifier heal, single target, but very long range that restores 200 CT. I like that a lot. That's a very good heal. Then she has a TP move that can inflict doom and immobilize on targets. Okay, at least she has that heal. Grimoire Keeper is going to give her a protect self buff with defense debuffing, gives her some more damage, gives her a heal that's really close. You're probably not looking to run Grimoire Keeper in my opinion. Supplicant is a very good sub job that comes with a group buff that gives attack, magic, and agility if you wanted to work that in, or a regenerate for 2 targets. And then if they have regen, 200% chance magic damage. So a magic damage buff, regen, I mean, give me a high mate. This is a good buff if you want to do it to another 2 targets. Probably you're running Supplicant for this or her new sub job for this little heal right here. I like this little heal right here. I think she's got a lot of buffs she can do in her main kit already. Then her limit break. Let's talk about that. So a lot going on here. 200% chance to auto revive for an ally not self. So she walks with pretty close to somebody and gives them re-raise. Reduce physical damage taken 25% for ally if they have their re-raise on. So she gives them a 25% physical damage reduction. Then re-raise. You know what? It's a lot easier to look at this one on the client. Let's just do it here. Here's what this does. Gives re-raise to herself and an ally. Allows unit to automatically recover. Yeah, we know that. Bestows physical damage reduction while re-raise is in effect, and bestows debuff effect, re-raise ceiling. So she gives them the ability to re-raise, to turn off their enemy's re-raise removal, and physical damage reduction as long as they have re-raise. Praise the client for saving us from having to read all of that. So that's her. Like that's the new Lucielle. About said Shalze. That's the new Lucielle. I think she's going to be a really good support. Like if you pull her and you're running her, I think you're going to have success in PvP with her. She just feels like somebody who's not going to get pulled a lot. There is this vision card as well. Ovis's Demon Princess. It has agility on it, which I really like, magic and HP. It gives the unit using it magic and agility. Really, again, solid. Really solid right there. The party effect is chain resist, so like slash, pierce, missile, all that. 36, which okay. Then again, one of those area reduction reducing barriers up to 16%, but again just for physical, leaning in once again to her ability to try to really be an anti-physical unit. It's all here. Like if you combine those things, she is going to make herself and her team way better against physical units. She's going to be healing them. And that is the trick, right? If you're running a support, you need her to have turns where your units are damaged so she can support them. One of the problems in this game is if you run into Greg, Sephiroth, Kadaj, and they all three get to go on you, are you alive to be healed? She's trying. She's trying to give you re-raise and re-raise, removal ceiling. She's trying to give you these like barriers to reduce your damage. She's trying to keep you alive through that so she can heal, you can gain momentum back and win. Will it work? We'll see. Then you'll also get on the guild map slash resist 12%. I'm not pulling for either one of these myself. Like my personal feeling is save for Cypher. Final Fantasy VIII is limited. If I'm going to spend money, I'm going to spend it on limited stuff. I think the devs know this and they should just keep pumping collabs at us because it's working. And yeah, that's it. So good luck on your pulls if you are pulling for her. And yeah, have a great day, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Peace. Happy 4th of July if you're in America. Don't blow your fingers off.